Viewer Melanie asks, how can I curb my craving for sweet junk food? Well, in this video, I'll share my thoughts. Okay, let's take a look at Melanie's full question. She asks, my problem when it comes to eating more naturally is that I have a huge sweet tooth, and I tend to turn to processed foods to satiate it. Do you have any tips on how I can curb my cravings when it comes to sweet foods, such as chocolate, candy, etc.? First, let me just say that you are not alone. I used to struggle with this so badly, and I know that lots of other viewers can relate, especially when we're getting premenstrual or there's just certain times of the month where we just want those sweets. So I'm sure a lot of you are expecting me just to rattle off some healthy natural substitutes, right? Some good dessert recipes, and I will get to that. But what I really like to go to with these kinds of questions is more the root issue. Like, why are we craving? Because crave isn't necessarily a natural thing, and so we want to kind of treat the underlying cause. So for me, I always look at physical, emotional, spiritual. So it's like, okay, what is going on for me emotionally? If I'm resentful, if I'm angry, if I'm lonely, if I'm sad, looking at those emotions and dealing with those first before I reach out for any food is huge. So journaling about it, calling a friend, going for a walk, stomping my feet, just doing something to release the emotion or whatever's going on. And then I find that I don't crave those foods as much. Another thing that's really helpful is looking at any nutritional imbalances. For me, I take magnesium daily, and I find if I don't, that some of those sugary, kind of sweet, carby cravings come up more because lots of us are deficient in magnesium, and it can really help. Another thing is, are you, not eating enough at your meals? Are you kind of trying to cut back, or are you not having maybe balanced meals so your blood sugar is getting wonky, or maybe you're going a really long time in the afternoon and you need to kind of have an afternoon snack, that sort of thing. So I always want to make sure that my basic meals are very nutriently dense and that I'm having a good balance of fat, carb, and protein. Particularly protein at all my meals can really help when it comes to those sorts of cravings. And then lastly, prayer for me helps a lot. Reading a spiritual book, listening to some music that is spiritually uplifting, that can also help. Now let's talk about some healthy sweet substitutes. My favorites are these. The first is coconut rolled dates. These are like fudge to me. So yummy. I like to put them in the refrigerator. You can even freeze them, and that way they're chewier and just so satisfying. Another one that I really love is I take a Granny Smith apple, I chop it up, I drizzle raw honey on top, and then crushed walnuts or pecans. Eat it with a fork. It tastes like a taffy apple. So yummy. And the nuts kind of hold you over really good. Another one is mango ice cream. I make this almost every night because I'm nursing and I like a little treat before I go to bed. So I take frozen mango, I get it at Trader Joe's, coconut milk, put it in a blender, a couple drops of stevia, whip it up, and I make it really thick so I eat it with a spoon, and it tastes like ice cream, and it's super satisfying. My final favorite treat is this bread called manna. Now you can find it in your freezer section in some health food stores. You also can order it online. It comes frozen, and I like it just a slice of it, and I just eat it plain. I just heat it up a little bit, and it tastes like cake. It's crazy. And I don't know how they do it because there's no flour, there's no oil, no sugar. All it is sprouted grain. And then sometimes they add some fruit or nut to it. So my favorite flavor is the date cinnamon. Yummy. There's also a carrot raisin one, and I know a friend of mine that puts like cream cheese on it, and she says that it tastes like carrot cake, so if you like that. So yeah, that's what I enjoy. Now Melanie, go out there, Google some stuff, find what works for you, because maybe some of these things don't sound appetizing to you, but there are so many real food recipes out there that you can replace these sweet cravings, so be sure to check it out. And there you have it, my response to this question. Would love to hear all the moms out there. What do you guys do when you're craving those sweets? Put it in the comments below so all of us can learn from each other. And if you have any questions for Mama Natural, be sure to put them down in the comments below because maybe I'll just make a video on it. Thanks as always for tuning in.